Hello and welcome to Elecspo, and today we're talking about the Man United job. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is severely under pressure right now, with his side enjoying a less than pleasant start of the season despite a favourable fixture list and a forward line that includes Cristiano Ronaldo. There's talk of Ole out all over the media, so what would happen if Solskjaer really was given his P45 at Old Trafford? Well, today that's what's going to happen, and I've got the perfect replacement, Steve Bruce. He's a Man United legend with 1,000 games in management, he's got the experience you need to thrive at the top, and he did a wonderful job at Newcastle according to everyone in the media, despite results, performances and Toon fans suggesting otherwise. So let's do it. He's got a 3-year contract. Let's see how Steve Bruce gets on as Manchester United manager. Okay, here we are at the start of the simulation. Steve Bruce is the new Manchester United manager. He's replaced Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. The Magpies are looking for a new manager just like they are in reality. Steve Bruce has left St James's Park. He was sacked yesterday, and in this FM simulation I've given him the job at Man United. It's the biggest job he has ever had. I mean, the media have been saying what a good bloke he is, how poorly he was treated at Newcastle, what a good manager he is. Can he prove it at Man United? He's at his former club. They've got a great team with Pogba, Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes, Varane, Maguire, and even Phil Jones and Fred. It's a great squad at Man United that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer probably isn't getting the best out of. But maybe Steve Bruce can be the man to turn this Man United wannabe team into Premier League champions. How will he get on in his first season? Let's simulate a year into the future. Let's see how Steve Bruce gets on at Old Trafford. Right, here we are at the end of the first season, and Steve Bruce is proving Newcastle fans completely wrong. The media were right, he's a great manager, as Man United have finished second in the Premier League. They finished above Man City, above Arsenal, even above the European champions Chelsea. Only Liverpool did better than them, finishing 10 points clear to win the title, but Man United under Steve Bruce have came second in the Premier League. Cristiano Ronaldo's had a great season, 16 assists, average rating 7.95, 11 Player of the Match awards. Steve Bruce getting a tune out of one of the greatest players on the planet. So he came second in the Premier League. Has he had any joy in any of the cups? It was a strongish start of the season. The first time they tasted defeat in the Premier League was against Arsenal on the 21st of November in the Cups. Champions League, how far did they go? They made it to the quarter-finals where they lost to Paris Saint-Germain 3-2 on aggregate. League Cup, they were knocked out early, losing in the 4th round to Newcastle on penalties. A 10-man Newcastle, no less. That'll have been a raucous atmosphere inside St James's Park. And in the FA Cup, they were beaten in the finals 3-2 by Arsenal. So Steve Bruce, second in the Premier League, runners-up in the FA Cup and a Champions League quarter-final, managing in Europe's elite competition for the first time in his career. How did they get on against Newcastle in the league? At Old Trafford they won 4-0, so a win for Brucey there. At the return fixture at St James's Park, which was much earlier in the season, it was a 4-1 win for Man United, which was actually only 3 days before Newcastle beat them on penalties in the League Cup. So Brucey's got one over his former employees. He's proved he was right and they were wrong. They were bitter and angry and just didn't like him because he was a bit like a cabbage. After one season, Bruce is living it up, even though he hasn't won any silverware. Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes doing great. Rafael Varane playing brilliantly. Rashford 18 goals. Jadon Sancho, he's scoring goals, getting an assist, something he's not doing in reality right now. Even Donny van de Beek's been playing quite well, which is a difference to what's happening in reality where he's just not playing at all. It's been a strong start for Steve Bruce, the biggest job of his career. He's content with life at the club he loves, and he's finished second in his first season. It's a good base for Brucey. Can things get even better in season 2? Let's find out. Right, here we are at the end of the second season, and while Newcastle have gone down with only 28 points, proving once again that they're rubbish without Steve Bruce, Man United have gone slightly backwards, but they're still a top 3 team, coming third with 76 points. Man City have had a bit of a recovery in this season. They've came top of the pile, finishing ahead of Man United and finishing ahead of Liverpool. I mean, they finished ahead of everyone. But we're here to talk about Man United. We're here to talk about Steve Bruce, who has now appointed Cristiano Ronaldo as his club captain. Has he won any silverware? Let's have a little look. Champions League. They were in a group alongside Bayern, Copenhagen and Malmo. which unsurprisingly they made it through. They then beat Roma in the first knockout round, but they were beaten by Borussia Dortmund in the quarters. And they've also had cup disappointment domestically. They lost the League Cup final 1-0 to Man City. They lost the FA Cup final 2-0 to Man City. Steve Bruce has made 3 domestic finals and he still hasn't won a major trophy. Still, the best thing he's achieved in his career is a couple of promotions from the Championship to the Premier League. Against Newcastle, they won 2-0 at St James's Park. And at Old Trafford, they also won 2-0. Bruce has been dominating against Newcastle, who are going down to the Championship. Yes, we all look silly now for slagging him off. He's doing great at Man United. 2 seasons in, a second and a third, but still no trophies for Steve Bruce to parade around and, I don't know, drink gravy out of. Could you fry bacon in a trophy? Probably not. Anyway, Cristiano Ronaldo, the best player at the club, Rashford second best, and then you've got Bruno Fernandes, Donny van de Beek doing well. I mean, everyone seems to be doing quite well at Man United. Even James Garner, who got a couple of appearances, he is playing well, the youngster coming through the academy. Steve Bruce has finally got the big job you'd think he deserves based on what everyone's saying about Steve Bruce in the media. And he's got 1 more year left on his contract. Will he be able to win something in his final season? Will he perhaps even get a longer contract at Old Trafford? If he can win a trophy, then you can't really see why they wouldn't extend his stay at Old Trafford. But let's do it. Let's go into season 3. Let's see how Steve Bruce gets on in his 3rd year back at Manchester United. The first time managing a Champions League club in his career. This is what he deserves, remember. This is how good he really is, apparently. Right, here we are at the end of season 3, and there are troubles ahead for Steve Bruce and Man United. After a 2nd place finish, a 3rd place finish, Man United have dropped out of the top 4. Leicester have only got them bloody done it again. They are Premier League champions with 88 points, only 5 points separating the top 4. And then you've got Man United in 5th with 72 points. Steve Bruce has taken Man United from title contenders to outside of the Champions League. But it doesn't matter because he's got a new long-term contract, everyone. 3 more years of Steve Bruce at Old Trafford. Tactical style, Route 1, I mean, you love to see it. He's staying until 2026. Has he won any trophies in this season? They won the Phil Jones testimonial. That's the one that really matters. 3-1 win over Sevilla. I bet Phil Jones still didn't even play. League Cup beaten in the quarter-finals by Manchester City. FA Cup, they made it to the quarters again, beaten by Bournemouth, which was quite embarrassing. And in the Champions League, another quarter-final, losing to Inter Milan 4-3 on aggregate. So season 3's been a little bit more disappointing for Steve Bruce. But at least he has got a new long-term contract. 3 more years, he's earning 25 grand a week, which is an alright little sum. And here's something I didn't know. I didn't know Steve Bruce's middle name is Roger. Is that what the aliens called an American Dad? I did not know Steve Bruce's middle name was Roger. Steve Roger Bruce is going to be playing in the Europa League next season. After 2 strong years, things haven't been very good in year 3 for Steve Bruce. Cristiano Ronaldo's starting to fall off a little bit, which is a bit disappointing. But still, Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford flying the flag for Brucey, taking Man United to the 2nd tier competition of European football. Will year 4 be a little bit better? Let's find out. Right, here we are at the end of season 4 and Steve Bruce has gone. Man United are on the lookout for a new manager. What has happened to Steve Bruce? Has he got the England job? Maybe it's Madrid, Barcelona? Let's have a little look. No, he was sacked. He was sacked on the 19th of May 2024, leaving Old Trafford after 4 years in charge, where he won a grand total of 0 trophies. In his final season, Man United went backward even further, finishing 7th in the Premier League. He's finished 2nd, 3rd, 5th and finally 7th, putting Man United in the Europa Conference League. Let's have a little look at the schedule. I mean, we know they didn't win any trophies, but did they even come close? Carabao Cup beaten on penalties straight away by Arsenal. The Europa League beaten in the second round by Athletic Bilbao, and in the FA Cup they were beaten in the fourth round by Chelsea. It's been an appalling season for Steve Bruce and Manchester United, and that's even with Callum Wilson moving to the club. I don't know why he signed Callum Wilson. What a strange signing from Newcastle. £7 million in the January, got 2 goals. Maybe he really liked them at Newcastle. I mean, he's a good player, Callum Wilson, but not quite Man United number 9 levels of good. So Steve Bruce has been sacked after 4 years in charge, and of 4 years where, in reality, he didn't achieve anything. The best he did was a second place finish, got to a few cup finals, which I mean, obviously he didn't do at Newcastle, but he's got a better team at Man United, but still he was unable to win the first major trophy of his career. Despite all the good press he gets, Steve Bruce has been relieved of his duties of Newcastle United manager, and it wasn't a moment too soon. I mean, he was absolutely awful. It's frightening to believe that there's people out there who think he's done a good job. I mean, I've watched the football for the past 2 and a bit seasons. It's been absolutely rotten. In this simulation at Man United, he's proven he can do just as good as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and in that sense, he's won nothing there either. In this simulation, Steve Bruce has proven that he's just as good as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but he's no better because he hasn't won any trophies either. We will leave it there. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know what you think down in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Elecspo, and until next time, we will see you around.